Welcome to The Explainer. I am so pumped you're here today because, wow, we have got a lot to unpack from the incredibly productive June 25th meeting of the North Yarmouth Economic Development and Sustainability Committee, or as we'll call it, the EDSC. If you care about where your town is heading, you are absolutely in the right place. This single meeting really laid down some serious groundwork that's going to impact daily life in the community all summer long and well into the fall. We're going to visualize exactly what they covered, breaking down the whole shebang, from local commerce to the literal concrete being poured in your neighborhoods. Okay, let's dive right into this.
So, here is our roadmap for today. We'll be moving through 5 core pillars. First, the Small Business Directory. Next up, climate action and sustainability. Third, new sidewalks and connectivity. Fourth, governance updates, including the EDSC summer recess. And finally, upcoming summer events. Let's get to it.
Section 1. The Small Business Directory and how we're boosting the local economy.
Behind the scenes, the committee has been putting in some serious sweat equity to stimulate North Yarmouth's local economy. And that starts with simply getting a handle on who is actually doing business in town. They initiated this massive data scrub. Committee members Grace and Andrew meticulously combed through the records, removing retired businesses, fixing outdated contact info, to curate a verified rock-solid list of exactly 150 active local small businesses right here in North Yarmouth. They've even got them categorized into sectors like automotive, pet services, and health and wellness. But having a list is really only half the battle. The big question they're tackling now is, what do they actually do with it?
Well, this perfectly illustrates the crossroads they're at. Right now, North Yarmouth relies on this static, manually updated internal list of businesses. And let's be real, that just eats up a ton of volunteer hours to maintain. By contrast, if you look at neighboring Cumberland, they use a dynamic, self-serve directory right on their town website where businesses can hop on and update their own information automatically. So the committee is definitely eyeing Cumberland as a model. And what makes this timing just absolute perfection is that North Yarmouth is currently transitioning to a new town website vendor anyway. They want to use this transition window to potentially build that dynamic self-serve functionality right into the new site. It would make it totally effortless for local entrepreneurs to be found by residents.
Moving right along, Section 2, Climate Action and Sustainability, Protecting the Future.
Shifting gears from economic health to environmental health, committee member Sadie presented a really fascinating benchmarking breakdown. The EDSC wanted to see exactly how surrounding towns are tackling environmental challenges, and this breakdown shows a very clear trend toward formalizing climate strategies. Yarmouth has a dedicated climate action board. Freeport, they're heavily focused on educational programming around waste, energy, and land use. Falmouth is diving deep into energy benchmarking and food waste diversion. And Cumberland actually has a specific climate action and sustainability subcommittee. The main takeaway here is that North Yarmouth isn't just operating in a vacuum. They're actively looking at and learning from the frameworks their neighbors are using to protect natural resources.
And this brings us to a really crucial point, captured beautifully in a quote pulled directly from Falmouth's Climate Action Plan. Linking sustainability with good governance. The committee noted that, sustainability isn't just about environmental idealism anymore. It's about cold, hard economics. When you do things like energy audits on government buildings or adopt more efficient building codes, it creates operational efficiency. And that translates directly into municipal cost savings for the taxpayers. Think about it, it's also about protecting the town's infrastructure against climate disasters, like flooding, which can seriously drain town budgets if roads continually have to be rebuilt.
Bringing it back home, North Yarmouth is already putting a lot of these practical concepts into action. They've been highly successful in pursuing grants to upgrade municipal buildings to LED lighting, which saves energy and money right off the bat. They're also actively reviewing electric vehicle charging station models, really digging into what works, what doesn't, and how users are billed. Oh, and they're promoting native plant species too, giving a very cool shout out to the local wild seed project right in town. These might seem like small steps, but they are concrete moves that built a seriously resilient foundation.
All right, on to Section 3, New Sidewalks and Connectivity, Physically Connecting the Town.
Transitioning over to physical infrastructure, this is the question on literally everyone's mind. Where are the new sidewalks going? Because let's face it, creating a great town on paper doesn't mean much if you can't safely walk down your own street to enjoy it. The committee brought up a great point. There is a massive difference in how safe you feel walking next to a road where cars are going 25 miles per hour versus 50 miles per hour. Sidewalks are basically the web that pulls a community together. They allow residents to safely reach the village center, the community center, and the local trailheads.
Let's actually walk through this exact progression. Step 1 is a major win. The sidewalks all the way up to Baston Road are officially done, and the town is already getting incredibly positive feedback on them.
Step 2 is the Sweetser connector. And what's really clever here is that the Department of Public Works is exploring doing this build in-house. That could streamline the whole process and save some serious money. Then there's Step 3, Parsonage Road. Now, this one is a bit trickier. It would beautifully connect the townhouses and parks to the local fields, sure, but the engineering is tough because the road drops right off into a steep ravine. It's like a giant puzzle. However, the committee is exploring whether a simpler grade of sidewalk, maybe something without heavy curbing, could work on the flatter sections. It's all about a strategic, step-by-step expansion to get the town connected.
Moving to Section 4, EDSC Summer Recess, Keeping Governance in Motion.
Getting into the administrative side of things, the EDSC officially voted to take a well-deserved summer recess for July and August. Between everybody's shifting schedules, local elections, and just the desperate need to actually enjoy a short, beautiful Maine summer, hitting a quorum for meetings was getting pretty tough. So this pause allows the volunteers to recharge, soak up some sunshine, and return in September, ready to hit the ground running with fresh ideas and potentially even a new charge from the Select Board.
While covering governance, the committee also briefly recapped the recent annual town meeting, which saw a great turnout of roughly 120 to 150 residents. The big headline there? The Casco Bay Trail Alliance interlocal agreement passed. Now the sources show there was some lively debate on the floor regarding this Rails to Trails project. Residents were really trying to drill down and understand if signing the agreement suddenly obligated the town to any future financial assessments or liabilities. But ultimately, voters did authorize the Select Board to sign it. That essentially allows North Yarmouth to join a supervisory group with neighboring towns, just to formally explore what this trail system could even look like down the road.
And finally, Section 5, Upcoming Summer Events and Community Engagement.
Okay, the committee might be on a break, but the community is definitely not hitting pause. There are some absolutely fantastic events happening aimed at bringing neighbors together. You've got the Prince Memorial Library's summer reading program going on for all ages. There's the classic Strawberry Festival over at the Congregational Church. There are open gym and pickleball options happening at the WHCC, but I really want to highlight North Yarmouth Creates happening at the Historical Society. This is just a brilliant intersection of community and local commerce. It's this cool artisan event featuring a panel with local creators, woodworkers, potters, quilters, knitters, doing demonstrations and answering questions about their craft. Honestly, it's exactly the kind of grassroots local business development the committee loves to see.
Which brings us to my final question for you today. How are you going to get involved this September? The groundwork has clearly been laid. We've seen the hard data on small businesses, the blueprints for sustainability, and the physical pathways connecting the town. When the EDSC reconvenes in the fall, they are going to be looking for community momentum. So are you going to just be a spectator, or will you help write the next chapter of North Yarmouth? Go check out the new sidewalks, maybe support a local artisan, and definitely think about how you might want to contribute. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will see you next time.